Welcome to What the Flick, everybody. The Oscar nominations came out. Matt, Christy, Alonso, Ben. The Oscar nominations out this week. They were very surprising. They were more surprising than normal, were they not?
Yeah, I think that, there were some things that people didn't see coming. I mean, I don't think a lot of people were putting money down on Extremely Loud, Incredibly Close getting a Best Picture nomination, certainly.
Ridiculous, by the way.
Yes, agreed.
I mean, not even in the ballpark. Not even in the top 50. Shouldn't even have been under discussion.
I have to tell you, that's one of the lowest rated movies ever to get a Best Picture nomination.
It's under 50.
Yeah,
in the
last
4 or 5 years.
Somebody asked if that was like the most critically reviled movie to get a Best Picture nomination since The Greatest Story or The Greatest Show on Earth. And I thought, well, Dr. Dolittle and The Towering Inferno, maybe, but not. It's a short list, and that's on there.
Towering Inferno was awesome.
But Best Picture.
When you think, though, they could have numerically had 10 Best Picture nominees. Not only did they not have 10, they had 9. One of them Extremely Loud, and then Dragon Tattoo didn't get in there. Like, that was weird to me.
And there'd been a lot of buzz about Bridesmaids, possibly.
Bridesmaid would have been great.
But there was a whole weird thing where, like, now it's weighted by how many people number one choice.
Well, and there's a certain cutoff, right? There's a certain threshold of votes that you have to hit to get into the nomination category.
And there could have been fewer. There could have been 8. There could have been 7.
Or 5.
There could have been 5.
It's arcane
at least
now.
5, no more than 10.
Well, and again, as usual, like as happened last year, I think you have to look at the Best Director list and immediately count out 4 movies that aren't going to get it, right? Because their directors didn't get nominated. So you kind of have to say, well, they got nominated. Like Extremely Loud got nominated, but.
Right. No,
but even that, every so often they'll sneak up on you, and they're like, Driving Miss Daisy didn't get a director nomination; it won Best Picture. So.
Right, it can happen, but it's unlikely. And in this case, when you have this disparity between the number of nominated movies and obviously the directors are limited to 5, I love the idea that you don't have to have 10 and you don't have to have 5. It seems good. There's no reason why we're wedded to these numbers of 5 and 10 in life as we go forward in all things. We don't need to always. There's nothing wrong with 8.
Welcome to numerology.
But only in the Best Picture category. Everybody else, it's 5 or less. Like in the Best Song category this year, where there only 2 apparently cleared whatever hurdle.
Don't get me started on the friggin' Bruce Springsteen and The Wrestler, which was a freaking outrage.
But I'm happy, though, that one of the 2 songs is Man or Muppet, which is genius and hilarious. I was happy to see that. I was happy to see Melissa McCarthy get nominated for Bridesmaids for supporting actress. I was happy to see Helen Back Again is an amazing documentary that really not a lot of people have seen. I was thrilled to see that.
I was, and in that category, I was happy that Pina got nominated.
Pina's in there too.
The Wim Wenders 3D dance documentary.
But how did they nominate the Sarah Palin movie? Oh wait,
it's
wrong.
Not.
Undefeated.
It's undefeated about high school football in Memphis, which is actually very good.
No surprise, but a separation for best foreign language film
and screenplay, which we as members of the Los Angeles Film Critics Association gave Asghar Farhadi a month and a half ago.
It was our first non-English screenplay to win that award.
It is the first.
Look how influential you are.
We are. It's the first script written in Farsi ever to get a screenplay nomination.
He was at Telluride, and it was so incredibly sweet in introducing them. It's a great film, and I suspect it will win. The Jonah Hill also the surprise nomination.
That was a nice surprise.
I think the biggest surprises this year are in the Best Supporting Actor category.
Yeah,
in my
Max
opinion.
von Sydow, I don't think.
Yeah, that was kind of surprising. And then the people that were left out of that, Albert Brooks, very surprising. In fact, Drive got hardly any love at all.
Drive got one nomination for sound editing or something like that.
Patton Oswalt.
Nothing. Young Adult got really shut out, didn't
Nothing.
it? Look, Andy Serkis. I think
the Academy is not ready to nominate people for digital.
The actors branch is nervous about,
and I think that's why Tintin got left out of Best Animated, because I think it makes them nervous.
And also, there's another category with 2 movies that not a lot of people saw: Chico and Rita and The Cat in Paris. Yeah. So.
And I was really surprised Rio got left out of that. I thought Rio was a really good movie, and I think the Rio kind of classically got left out because it was too early in the year, and I think people forgot about it.
But I'm glad that Cars 2 did not get nominated. I'm glad to see that.
Just automatically
but Cars 2, it was just they made it too easy. To pass on. It was too. The Andy Serkis thing I just want to talk about for a sec, because I get that they're nervous. It's coming. They're going to have to get over it. It was so good. I loved that movie. I thought, unquestionably, to me, one of the 10 best movies of the year. I didn't expect it to get nominated. I was hoping that he would, just because it would recreate some more talk about the film, which I really thought was outstanding. But I want to make the hard call then and knock somebody out of the category, since I'm going to put Andy Serkis in. And it's Kenneth Branagh.
Do you mean his big showy Olivier performance?
It was a really good Olivier, I thought.
But wait. I think you're putting Serkis in the wrong category, because Serkis would not be a Best Supporting. If you're going to put Serkis and give him a nomination, the character he plays in Caesar, that's a lead. That's not a supporting character.
but
James Franco's your lead, right?
in Oscar,
I disagree.
That's logic,
Caesar's
He's a
story.
pretty white guy in the movie.
Right, but that's Caesar's story. You have to put him in best
in
actor.
Oscar logic, you would make that a supporting. In the same way that you put Timothy Hutton as a supporting character in Ordinary
I
Or
get it.
People.
Jennifer Connelly in A Beautiful Mind.
You're both right.
yes,
You're definitely,
No, I get it. I mean,
totally
I know
valid.
Anthony Hopkins ends up as best actor, and he's got, what, 5 minutes of screen time?
Exactly.
And Branagh was good. I didn't like that movie that much, but I liked the Branagh parts of it best,
those are
actually. Those were the best
yeah.
parts of the movie. Well, then I could take Max von Sydow out. I love Max von Sydow,
Right.
but this isn't. Anyway, it doesn't matter because Christopher Plummer should win.
He will win.
Yeah,
He will
was
win,
great.
yeah.
He was
He
really
should.
He
great.
will win, although I'm still voting. If I was voting, I'd be voting for Nick Nolte.
Yeah,
Right,
well, you
you
were on that
called
earlier.
that.
I've been
Ago,
pushing Nick
yes.
Nolte all along.
Yes.
And I think Michael Fassbender probably deserves a
that
nomination.
was shocking to me.
That Shame didn't get.
I'm really, really
yeah.
bummed that Shame got nothing at all, but he really should have gotten a Best Actor nomination. That was shocking to me.
Who do you boot out?
Who do you boot out? Okay, so who do you have in there? You have
Demi
Clooney,
Bashir.
Demi Bashir. Demi Bashir, I think I would boot out. It's fine.
God, you were racist.
I'm
You were
so mean.
racist.
You had Brad Pitt in there.
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman. His first Oscar nomination.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Yeah,
It's mind-boggling.
that's crazy.
25 years after Sid and Nancy.
That's crazy, but I don't think it was so great. But
Oh,
whatever.
see, I disagree. I actually think that's one of the more subtle performances we've ever seen out of Oldman, and I'm very happy he got the nomination
I'm
because
very
so
happy he
often
got it,
he's
too,
so
because
over the top
he
and
deserves it.
he's-
In fact, I think one of the big
That movie's not over yet.
One of the big fuckovers this year was that they did not nominate Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy for art direction because
Yeah.
that movie had a look to it
Yeah,
that
I
was
agree.
very detailed and period appropriate, but also worked for the film, and that was I was pissed about that.
So you're knocking out Bashir for that.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a very good movie. If we're talking about good movie versus good performance or whatever, he is fine in a movie that's not all that great. I
So
didn't
real
like
quick then, will Clooney win that, do we think?
it. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I think so.
I'd rather see Brad Pitt win, though. I love Brad Pitt in Moneyball.
Although
Brad Pitt's great.
Desjardins could win.
Oh yeah, Jean
that's
Dujardin.
true.
There's so much artist love.
If the artist
Yeah.
I think that's going to
avalanche
be.
is going.
I think that's
Yeah.
going to be an early indicator, right? I think that if we see one of those, the best actor or best supporting actress go to either Dujardin or Bejo, then I think that we're going to
Let's
see
not forget
kind of a
they
sweep.
gave Best Actor to Roberto Benigni.
Yeah.
So-
I think that'll be an early indicator of how much love there is.
Uggy the dog should have gotten nominated. Uggy is the heart of that movie.
And Tilda Swinton should have gotten nominated for Best Actress.
Yes.
And I would I'd boot out all of them before, because I think Tilda Swinton should win, but I don't think Michelle Williams, I don't think that was good enough. I love, she's great.
It's the
She's
kind of thing that the Academy loves.
Right,
it's an impersonation
right.
of a famous
I don't like
person.
anybody in The Help.
Viola Davis is great.
She's
and
great,
she'll win.
but I don't
She's
like
gonna
this.
win.
I don't like The Help.
You don't
I
think
don't
she's
like
great?
that kind
I hate the movie.
You think
Yeah, I
Streep
hate the
won't
movie.
win?
Yeah.
Pardon?
See, I think Streep may win because they've nominated her at this point so
17
many
times.
since the 80s, and she hasn't won. I think
Since
there's
Sophie's
No, it's
Choice.
crazy
Right.
how many
30
times.
years
Forget
ago.
the fact. It's crazy how many times she's lost. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right.
She's like
And I-
Lost
Randy Newman of
15.
actors.
Well, no, to figure she's got 2 Oscars, so
right.
she's lost 14 times already.
15.
Because
She's nominated
this is her
oh, right.
17th,
Sorry.
right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah, so it's kind of weird though to think
it
about.
might
her.
be like, oh yeah, we keep nominating.
Oh,
We need to give her one.
Remember her?
Like,
Yeah, but that's sort of a sad, weird logic that Meryl Streep is your sentimental underdog favorite. But I like your logic. I can see that happening. I can see it happening.
Next week when we do this,
And next year we will have forgotten who won.
right, we'll break down the
Yeah, who won last year? Who won Best Actress last year?
Best Actress last year.
Best
Wow.
actress was Sandra Bullock.
Was it Blind
No,
Side
that was
just
2
last
years
year?
ago. That was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago. She gave the award last year.
was
Oh, right.
Colin Firth for King's Speech, and
I don't think they gave a Best Actress last year.
Everybody sucked.
That's why we're struggling. Wow, this is a rough one.
that's the point I'm trying to make. You don't
Look it up.
remember.
That's what the iPad's for. Natalie
Natalie
Portman.
Portman.
I just rewatched Black
as
Swan
the
other
commenters
day.
all kill themselves. Like, because we're not at the computer watching
Right.
this.
Yes.
Colin Firth won, Natalie Portman won. Who are your supporting?
Oh, now you're really getting into
Yeah.
thin ice here.
Yeah, why are you just deliberately making us look
I'm
bad?
sorry. It's a blur. Award
Was it,
season is
what's
a
her
blur.
name from Precious? Or was that 2 years ago?
Gabrielle
Monique?
That was
Yeah.
Monique.
Monique and
Monique.
Christoph Waltz, or was that 2 years ago?
That was 2 years.
That was 2 years ago.
I don't know. Look it up.
Oh,
anyway,
man.
you guys tell us.
I was so drunk
See,
at that
this
show.
is the thing. If you're sitting at your computer, it's obvious, but nobody remembers the next year who wins this stuff.
Right.
It was like
Well, they do.
Well, but like everybody's going to be all consumed with the Oscars for the next month, and then by the summer you'll be like, who won the thing again? I don't really
Was it
know.
somebody
By the way, no, I
funny?
have the wrong year. I have the Jeff Bridges year, the Christoph Waltz year, Sandra Bullock. I am off by a year. We need the 83rd Academy Awards.
All right, while you're looking that up, I have another question. Does anyone
Ask me.
sincerely, I see these news stories, does anyone sincerely think that like Uggy should have gotten some kind of nomination?
No.
Like, do you think
I'm just
anyone in the
kidding.
press actually takes that seriously?
No, I think it's just, he's adorable and he does amazing things. And it is one of the great animal performances ever.
Christian
but-
Bale. Melissa
Oh,
Leo.
and Melissa Leo.
Right.
Okay. There.
We're done now.
Christian Bale and Melissa
Right,
Leo.
the experts are done talking now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christian Bale is done with us professionally, I'm sure.
It's where I was on the Oscar pre-show for ABC, and I correctly predicted all of the winners before it happened. But once it's happened, then I have no actual idea.
It's like cramming for an exam
Yeah.
you're really ready for. All right.
All right, guys, there you go.
The Oscars are pointless, but we're talking about them anyway.
February 26th at the Kodak Theater. It's Hollywood's biggest night.
Who's going to be there?
Tune in, won't you?
Who will be there?
I'll be there.
I'll be there, yeah.
We're going to look sexy. High five.
I will be in someone's living room.
Yeah, we have to
eating
make sure we
snacks.
don't wear the same dress this year, because that was
Again.
really embarrassing.
All right.
Maybe I'll live tweet.
Please do. Bye.